Hello and welcome. It's time to hear what's on my mind on this episode of the Trisha's 2 Cents Podcast. I'm your host, Trisha. Have you ever been triggered by something that you thought you were clearly healed from? And what I mean by triggered is when you're reminded of a past trauma. You feel either sadness or anxiety. And as I have mentioned before in the past, 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And as a result, I had a double mastectomy. I went through a lot of pain as a result of 3 surgeries in 6 months. And especially at that time, I was terrified of needles. So it's hard to look at something from someone else's point of view, but I was scared of needles. I was a hypochondriac. My worst fear came true. And then here I am with cancer, these surgeries. So it was a lot. So when someone that I care about tells me that they may have to go through the process of testing for breast cancer, it triggers my emotions to the point where I realize that I haven't completely healed emotionally from what I have went through and what I have experienced. See, everyone may have the same diagnosis, whether it's breast cancer, lung cancer, prostate cancer. It could be any kind of illness, diabetes, high blood pressure, anything, any kind of illness. But they might have the same diagnosis, but each experience is unique. No one has the same mental makeup. We're all individuals. So we all process our emotions differently. For the longest time, I realized I have tried to be strong. But I am still mourning the loss of my breath. Now, I do not regret my decision, for it saved my life. But I'm still mourning every day because it's not internal, but it's external. Every day I look into the mirror and I am reminded of what was, but I'm also reminded of what could have been. And I'm going to put a point right there. Please don't misunderstand that and think that I am not grateful. I'm very grateful. I'm thankful to God and for his healing powers, his supernatural powers. And I thank God for my wonderful doctors and their knowledge and their God-given knowledge. I'm so thankful. So don't misunderstand what I'm saying and think that I am not grateful, because I am so grateful. But I am human. And I think we forget that we are human. And so I am grieving. I'm still grieving a loss. And as humans, we can grieve. We are able and allowed to grieve. I remember my grandfather lost his leg, and he grieved that leg. He grieved the loss of his leg. And of course, I didn't understand it at the time, because I wasn't going through what he was going through. But now that I have lost body parts, I understand it's a loss. And so my triggered emotions is a reminder that I have to continue to seek God for my healing in that particular area. See, my scars have healed. I can see where my doctor did some beautiful stitching, and when it first happened, they were ugly and you wondered how they were going to come together. But now you can see how that his handiwork and how it's healed beautifully. The lady told me when I went to an appointment, she was like, it is some of the most beautiful handiwork she has seen, because I had a wonderful doctor. So my physical scars have healed, but my mind still has some open wounds. And Jesus, he is the only doctor that can heal the hurt that comes from this loss that was associated with the cancer. The doctors, the medical doctors have done all that they could do. They have given me all the tools I needed to heal physically. And I followed everything they told me to do. And that's why my scars healed in a great and beautiful way that someone outside looking in can say, look at that handiwork, because I followed the doctor's instructions. So, but Jesus is the only balm to heal and cure my wound so that I won't be triggered anymore. He's the only one that can heal my mind so that when someone I care about or love will tell me, hey, Trisha, I might have breast cancer, or hey, Trisha, I do have breast cancer, that it won't trigger me to the point where I'm either hysterical or it brings up every emotion that I felt when I was going through my testing and sitting in the room and they telling me, Mr. and Mrs. Clinton, yes, Trisha does have cancer. That's what I need to get to the point. I need Jesus to heal and cure my wound. And the first step to healing is admitting that you need something healed. So do you have any triggers that cause you anxiety, stress, or pain? I encourage you to do what I'm going to do, because I'm not going to give you any advice, or I don't give any advice that I'm not going to follow myself. And my advice is to give it to Jesus, because he is the balm in Gilead. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Trisha's 2 Cents podcast. Join me on the next episode as I give life lessons through my experience, my growth, and always from my heart. Make sure you subscribe on your favorite listening platform.